I didn't know if it started or not. All right,
Yep.
so let's go ahead and can you tell me a little bit about personal governance? Like, what does it mean to you?
Personal governance is when you activate your personal power.
Okay.
So if you got the ability to make a decision, if you got the ability to get results, that's power. Having a choice is power, right? You put on some pink pants today.
That is true.
You made a choice.
Right.
There's somebody that's voiceless, somebody that's powerless. They can't make that choice. I've worked in human health and human services. I've worked in nursing homes where, in the spirit of just getting things done, you reach in the closet, you grab the first thing. That person had no power over what happened, what they wore. So personal governance is about personal power. Self-empowerment through self-improvement.
Okay. So self-empowerment through self-improvement. So how do you, where does one start at with this self-empowerment?
Well, first it depends. It's kind of like a gap analysis, right? You got to see where you're at. You got to know where you're at, where you want to be. It's like, for instance, say you're struggling with your weight. As I struggle with my weight. At one point in time, it was like all these different things was going on. You got the Trump administration. You got different things going on in the Middle East. You get overwhelmed with all these issues. You got the hurricanes going down in Florida, hurricanes in Texas. All these things that I can't affect, that I have little or no power over. And here I am, overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. Who got power over that? Me. So I started turning inwardly. Does that mean it's going to be perfect? No. It's a struggle, still going to be a struggle. But knowing that I got power, okay, I got up this morning, go running. You know what I mean? Like, had a call right before we started our interview.
Yeah.
Power. Oh, you want this? Didn't just get anything off the menu. Hey, I want this. I want to avoid these refined carbs. Power. You see what I'm saying? So you start by where you at. What are you deficient in? What do you feel not somebody else's? What do you feel is it your income? Is it your health? You know what I mean?
Right.
Your relationship with your family? You look inside.
So really, it's about power and control issues. It's about establishing power.
It's about controlling the inward things that you can control rather than worrying about things you cannot control. Exactly.
Okay, so for example, somebody who has power and control issues and they're abusive in their relationship, this would be ideal for them then because they learn how to gain more power over themselves and others.
What greater control do you have than having control of yourself? I would argue that a lot of people that won't control other people don't have control of themselves. You want to control this. Why? You want to control where your girlfriend's going. Why? Because you're insecure. You know what I'm saying? So the issue is not so much power over her. It's power over how you feel. You feel insecure. You feel inadequate. You feel like if she dressed provocatively, somebody's going to come take her from you. See, you're looking at that person as an object instead of looking at yourself as a valuable human being. And if you really value yourself, you know that other people value themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't objectify them if you don't objectify yourself.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. But that's pretty deep for somebody who, for example, if we're talking about objectification of women, about self, about, others. If I look at everything as an object, if I look at everyone as an object, and that's the way I've been taught to believe from the time I was born, how can this help me?
Well, it's true. Where are you at? Guess what? If you take, I don't know, you take the president, President Trump, you put him in the hood, right? Is he still the president or not?
Yes.
He's just the president in the hood. Who he is, the fact that you put him in the hood didn't suddenly make him hood. So no matter where you put a person, it's not where you are, it's who you are. So once again, that person has to decide. They have to look inside themselves. The challenge is, now can I get everybody to look at this? No, because it's personal governance. It's a personal choice. You have to decide. The 3 tenets of personal governance, the first one is personal accountability. I can't make you be accountable. If you decide, you know you're diabetic and you decide to go out and eat a bag of licorice, I can't be accountable. You have to be personally accountable for that.
Right.
You have to make the personal investments in yourself. You got to spend the time and the resources, time, money, whatever, to improve your life. And the third tenet is personal growth. You got to require, oh man, you know what? I'm insecure. I lack confidence. You got to require that. I can't require that of you. That's what I like about personal governance, is because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. You're no longer in the passenger seat. You're no longer sitting in the back seat of your life saying, hey, this person should do that for me. Hey, that person should do that for me. Now, I'm not saying that there are going to be collective causes that we contribute to. You know what? I believe in, funding this foundation for autism. I believe in funding this breast cancer. I'm going to make financial contributions. I'm going to speak. Yeah, there are collective things that we contribute to. Or I'm going to protest this. I don't like that. But my thing is, that's something you contribute to. That no longer takes the lion's share of your headspace. You spend most of that time working on the things that you can do. Success comes in cans.
All right. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So let's go back to this idea of helping someone who's insecure. Okay, and I picked this one just because it's intriguing to me. If someone's insecure, often they create drama and stress around them because, as you mentioned before, to get a sense of control. So how would you help someone who is who's insecure, and because of that insecurity causes chaos around them?
Well,
if they're willing to acknowledge that.
I'm about to say, that's the thing. Can you get them to acknowledge that? I always believe in modeling. Once again, leaning back to my professional experience. Like, for instance, working with people that have mental health issues, working with people that's dually diagnosed. Some of them have addictive, personalities. Some of them have intellectual disabilities. So a lot of times what they'll do is they will mirror our behavior, right? So if I start getting loud and guess what? That person that fight, free, a lot of times they're going to get loud too. I start screaming, they start screaming, and it goes up and up. So a lot of times these people that have an insecurity and stuff, a lot of times you model, you show them what confidence is versus arrogance. A lot of times it's a very thin slope. Some people are acting arrogant because they're really insecure, but they think it's confidence.
Right.
So when I come to you as, say, I'm a supervisor, I don't have to look down my nose and talk to you. Hey, pick that up. I don't have to be, hey, can you do me a favor? Could you pick that up for me? Talk to you like a human being. Talk to you the way I want to be talked to. So I treat that person the way I want to be treated. And a lot of times I use the power of question. Because a lot of times people say, you should do this. Well, you should exercise. If it's getting to a should thing, I always lump myself with them. Well, we should do this. We should do better. As a team, as a management company, we need to do better. So now, if you saying I'm criticizing you, guess what? I'm criticizing me too. Right. Because I done lumped you in with me.
Okay.
But as the other thing, if it's something where I want to make it towards you, I say, hey, well, I know that you was getting a little upset. Do you feel that approach is the most effective? See, rather than saying, hey, that's not the most effective way to do it, now you automatically be defended. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No. Well, I seen the way you handled that. Do you think that was the best way? You think you got the best result? You got the best mileage out of that? Now it forces them to think about it. It empowers them. Because if you just say, man, forget it. I can't do it. You just made a choice. You gave your power away. You said, I cannot do it. You logged out. Now, if you get frustrated and say, man, that chemistry, that physics, how can I do it? You empowered yourself. Because now you're not giving up. You're not tapping out. You're thinking, how can I do it? You know what? Maybe I'm going to go to the basics. Maybe I'm going to go to chemistry 101. Chemistry for beginners. Maybe I'm going to get to build the bare basics and build on it. Because when you say how, now it doesn't go, I can't do math. I can't do chemistry. You log out. You give up your power.
Right.
When you ask yourself a question, or when you ask other people questions, you put them in a position to power themselves, to empower themselves.
Very interesting. That's a really good point. That really makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, obviously, you truly believe in personal governance. It shines through. But you know, if someone decides that they're not willing to change, for example, let's say I'm in a relationship with someone and they decide, this is who I am, and it's not going to help me, so I'm not doing it. What good would personal governance do me in that situation?
Man, I tell you, you must be good at this, because that's another thing. Because there are situations where we can't change them. I believe that 90+% of things we do have say so. We can change, but there are that block of things that we can't do nothing about. You know, natural disasters, changing somebody else. But guess what? It's a guy, and I don't want to butcher his name. I know his first name is Nick, but I'm not going. He's Australian. He got a platform. He's a public speaker. It's called Life Without Limbs. He was born with no arms, no legs. He got like a little foot, and he drives around in this like BMW wheelchair. He gives speeches and stuff like that, and he talks about, man, I wanted to be normal. You know, I wanted to have legs and this and that, but that was a situation that he could not change. Guess what? He changed the way he felt about it. So that's the situation. When you're faced with something that you cannot change, you change the way you feel about it. So I've been in a similar situation like that myself. I was dating somebody that didn't share or support my dreams. Somebody had a lifestyle wildly different than what I anticipate or what I would consider successful. I could not change them. Try to impregnate them with desire. Try to inspire them. You know, try to basically raise a rock. But a rock is a rock. A person wants to be where they want to be. So I had to change the way I feel about it. I had to say, hey, you know what? You care about this person, but you care about your dreams and you care about your vision. You can't change them, but you can't change the way you feel about it. Say, hey, you know what? I'm at peace. I'm not going to demonize you. You want what you want out of life, but it's different. You going down to the left, I'm going up to the right. I had to change the way I feel about it. Does that mean it's easy? No. Some days you're like, man, I really care about this person. Man, why can't she be what I want her to be? Well, I've changed the way I feel about it. Guess what? It's going to be somebody more in the line went with you. It's going to be somebody to share and support your dreams. It's going to be somebody more spiritually aligned, more intellectually aligned. So by changing the way I feel about it, yeah, at times, you know, you still think about what could have been, what may have been, but by knowing, hey, you know what, I made the best decision for myself, that I'm operating in my purpose and I'm operating at capacity versus, well, I'm going to settle. I'm just going to stay, I'm going to get a 9-to-5 job and I'm just going to settle with this person, knowing that I'm operating under capacity, knowing that I'm never going to be happy, never be fulfilled. Now, I could accept that. Unfortunately, I will argue that probably most people do that. But if they decide to change the way they feel, you know what? Y'all been together 23 years. You've been unhappy the last 20 of those years. Change the way you feel about it. But a lot of times we live for other people, right?
Right.
Oh, well, you know, what would the kids say? What would the family say? Don't matter what they say. What do your feelings say? What does your conviction say?
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, I mean, I definitely want to take time to appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with me. I'll definitely be checking more into this personal governance thing, and I appreciate your time, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Have a good day.